Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita ducerum, espes nostra salve. Ad reclamamus, exules filii Eve, a te suspiramus, gementes et plendes, in hoc lacrimarum vale. Ea ergo advocata nostra, in los tuos misericordes oculos, ad nos converte. Et Iesus, benedictus fructus ventris tui, nobis post hoc exilium ostende. O clement, O pia, O dulcis Virgo Maria. Ora pro nobis Santa Dei Genitris, ut dignificiamur promissionibus Christi. Gratiam tuam quaesimus Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, ut qui angelo nuntiante Christi Filii Tui incarnatione, coniovimus, por passionem eius et crucem ad resurrectionis gloria perditamur, per eundem Christum Dominum nostrum. Wherefore we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace into our hearts, that we to him the incarnation of Christ thy Son, was made known by the message of an angel, made by his passion and death, be brought to the glory of his resurrection. Through the same Christ our Lord. Amen. Te suplicamos, Señor, que derrames tu gracias sobre nuestras almas, para que los que por el anuncio del ángel hemos conocido la encarnación de tu Hijo que es Cristo, por su pasión y cruz, seamos llevados a la gloria de su resurrección, por el mismo Jesucristo nuestro Señor. Amén. Ven Espíritu Santo, llena los corazones de tus fieles, enciende en ellos el fuego de tu amor. Envía tu Espíritu y serán creadas todas las cosas, y renovarás la paz de la tierra. Oh Dios, que has instruido los corazones de tus fieles con la luz del Espíritu Santo, concédenos que sintamos rectamente con el mismo Espíritu y gocemos siempre de su divino consuelo. Por Jesucristo nuestro Señor. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of us, your faithful. Kindle in us the fire of your love. Send forth your Spirit, and we shall be created, and you shall renew the face of the earth. O God, who by the light of the Holy Spirit instructs the hearts of the faithful, grant that by the same Holy Spirit we may be truly wise and ever rejoice in his consolations. Through Christ our Lord. So, Bishop had a shift in mind, which was good. We're allowed to have outdoor masses now for almost all the sacraments. They have to be out of doors, and we can sit up to 100. So that's good. So we're back in business on Sundays. We were already outside anyway. We only went inside because it was really hot. But now we're outside. So bring a water bottle. I'm trying to get one of those mister sprays or something that just go around spraying people during the mass so they don't fall over. It's an idea. We'll put on a little Mr. Biden. I'm looking for that stuff, okay? It's kind of a little last minute thing. We'll work it out. It'll be a hot summer. Don't not go to mass because of this, okay? This is very important, all right? Some people still feel the danger, but we are taking extremely good care of you when you're here on this property, okay? We're very conscientious about it, even with the restrooms. One person at a time. Person goes in, we go in afterwards, clean all the place up. Next person can come in, okay? So it's we kind of discourage people from actually going to the bathroom if they don't have to here. But meets our needs. Pues el obispo, gracias a Dios, tuvo un cambio de mente, ese de no celebrar ninguna misa, está permitiendo misas de afuera, en la afuera, del aire libre, al fresco. Y pues es lo que tuvimos nosotros, ¿eh? Tuvimos siempre las tiendas allá, nomás estuvimos dentro por el calor, ¿eh? Pero ahora, con 100 personas cada misa, por eso estamos todos normal, lo regular que estamos haciendo. Incluso podemos celebrar otros sacramentos también afuera. Por eso estamos alegres, estamos back to business. Por eso, ten cuidado con el calor, traigo unas botellas contigo, estoy buscando algo para echar agua suavemente sobre la gente, para refrescar el ambiente un poquito. Estamos en todo esto, hermanos, ¿ven? Pero no se detengan de ir a misa. Yo sé que algunos tienen un miedo de venir, pero digo, cuando están aquí en este terreno, estás bien cuidado. Estamos limpiando todo bien, estamos muy así atentos a esas cosas, y bien protegidos los que sirven, especialmente, y aquí estamos para su servicio, hermanos. Ánimo. Okay. Today is the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and the scripture readings are really pretty basic. I browsed them yesterday, and continue on with the prophet Isaiah. There's one line here that I like very much. En el camino de I'm reading from. Let me get the English one. Hold on. My habit of just translating on the fly, I don't do too badly, but it's better if you get it the right translation. It says, when your judgment dawns upon the earth. No, it's not it either. Not a long day. No, I'm on the right day. When your judgment dawns upon the earth, the world's inhabitants learn justice. O Lord, you mete out peace to us, for it is you who have accomplished all we have done. And the reason why that particular verse stood out for me was because of the whole idea that God gives peace. We keep trying to work for it, to build it, to create it, to have a space where we feel peacefulness, a garden or wherever. The Lord gives us peace in any moment, at any time. So keep that in mind while you're going through today's scriptures. And it's related with Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Remember, Carmel is the mountain where the prophet had this great battle against the prophet Elijah, had this great battle against the hundreds of prophets of Baal and overwhelmed them. It's a beautiful story in the first book of Kings, and you should read it. It is just so beautiful because it's just a fantastic, strong story about what total faith is and not to be afraid. That even if you might lose a battle here on earth, because hundreds of prophets of the Lord were massacred before this, Elijah was the only one who survived. His faith in holding up the Lord, no matter what, and then having that battle there on that mountain, the great power that comes from Carmel. It's a beautiful place to visit in the Holy Land. So think about doing that. But remember, Our Lady of Mount Carmel. She's always the image, dressed in brown with a scapular, of course. This particular scapular, and she's always on top of above purgatory, with the souls looking to her to be delivered from purgatory. Because what gets you into purgatory is faithlessness. Simple as that. You give in a moment because I don't have faith enough to believe that God is giving me the grace to endure. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to say that this in Spanish, and then we'll get into the topic today. Bueno, hermanos, una pequeña reflexión en lo que es la palabra. Dice aquí, en el camino de tus mandamientos te buscamos, anhelando, Señor, tu nombre y tu recuerdo. Porque tus mandamientos son la luz de la tierra y enseñan justicia a los habitantes del orbe. Lo que a mí me gusta en particular de esto, es como la fidelidad es tan importante, ¿ya? De no perderse. Hoy es la fiesta de la Virgen de Nuestra Señora de Monte Carmelo, ¿sabes? Del escapulario, de ese es el escapulario original, ¿ya? Y que normalmente en la imagen de la Virgen de Monte Carmelo, ella está encima de los ángeles del purgatorio, porque ese Carmelo, este monte, es donde el profeta Elías tuvo su gran batalla en contra de 450 profetas de Bajal, los sacerdotes de Bajal y otros cientos de, de profetas también. Muchos estaban en batalla, y él solo, porque habían matado a todos los profetas que estaban dedicados al Señor Dios, y no a Baal. Y es una reina muy mala, muy loca. Bueno, en esto vemos cómo el Señor Dios está dando a este profeta tanta fe. Lee bien su historia en el primer libro de los Reyes, pero segundo libro de los Reyes, y va a ver, wow, qué gran fe, ¿ya? Tenía. Y desde entonces este monte tiene gran poder, ¿ya? La presencia de los santos que viven en todo el día en este monte. Bueno, esto, cuando tienen chance de ir a la Tierra Santa, vais a Monte Carmelo, bonito lugar, lugar de gran fuerza. Claro. So, yeah, I made a mistake. The story of the prophet Elijah is in the second book of Kings. Yes. Okay, what are we doing today? I told you yesterday I had a little story, a little example I wanted to go through uh, about the eighth commandment, and that's why I put on the commandment. The eighth commandment is the coward's commandment. Okay, and this all has to do with bearing false witness. And I say cowards because we're cowards. We will readily try to deceive in order to avoid the consequences of whatever it is we're facing. And we don't, it's hard for us to stand up and just take our lumps. It takes a lot of internal processing of our emotions and deal with our fears to be able to stand up and simply say the truth that needs to be said. This is the example I wanted to use, okay? Sorry. It's another that story. You're a good person who's hiding a Jewish family. It's the time of Nazi Germany. They're rounding up the Jews in your neighborhood. So you hide this family, got them well hidden, and they come to your door and they ask, "Are there any Jews here?" We have a report that you were good friends with so and so. They disappeared all of a sudden. So you're their friends. Where are they? Are you hiding them? And you say no, right? And so it's a lie. You have broken the commandment, given false witness before governmental authority. What do you do with that? Because you're lying to save people they know they want to imprison and kill for unjust reasons. There's two problems with this. One is, of course, it means we pass judgment on the authorities that we put over us, which is fine, because they're just people like us. We have a right to judge others who are in authority over us. We have a right to do that in their actions. We must. Okay, just because they hold a position, even if we elected them, does not mean they're above judgment by us. Okay, they can be judged. So that's one point. There's a judgment involved in there. The other point is this: I place such a value on these people's lives, knowing full well that others have not. This is a problem, okay? This is a problem because in dealing with this commandment, bearing false witness, the whole point of it is that if truth cannot overcome evil, not a lie, talk about evil. Because this is the thing. Jesus called himself the truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. What he was trying to really get at is he says, you know, living in the light is painful. The truth is painful. Revealing these truths, revealing even your inner demons, is very painful. So what do you do if they come knocking at your door, and there they are, well armed, ready to arrest even you if they catch you in a lie? If you just tell them the truth, they'll let you go. They'll call you a good citizen, and then the family just goes off to wherever they're going to take them. We knew the fate. What else to happen? But the truth, being obedient to unjust authorities, who are doing evil, yeah, they're just men making up rules. Okay? Remember what I said about rules and commandments. Okay? You, where do you stand? What do you do? People lie all the time. Especially if you're an immigrant to the country, you're going to say lies to cover your status for whatever reason. Okay? Sometimes we lie where we come from. If you've had problems with the law, sometimes you lie on an application for a job, knowing full well, I can't tell them I've had DUIs, et cetera. I don't get the job. At least maybe I get the job when I work for them. If they find out later on, hopefully they'll have mercy on me. And if you're upfront, they look at your application, it's one of those questions that just weed people out left and right. No, 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 no. They're telling the truth, believing in the power of the truth to overcome evil. There's more to it than just simply saying yes or no to a question. What do you do when they come to the door? You're hiding a family that is going to be treated unjustly. How do you defend them? How do you trust the truth? So this is where the question of justice really comes in. Like I said, all rules from governments, etc., they're not divine. Okay? And we as people can judge them as good or bad. We can change them. Okay? Just because they're written on law books does not make them divine. We can judge them. They're people. The laws are written by people, especially when it comes to the mistreatment of other people. We have the questions of how people are treated coming into our country, people on the borders coming in, we put them into camps. They're prisons, but and they're treated somewhat like prisoners, but not as badly as they would treat regular prisoners. That's another one that we get to too. That we treat our prisoners. But still, you look at this and you go, no, there's something that's very wrong here. What is truth going to do? To believe in truth, to trust truth. So they come to my door and I say, yes, and you're not going to take them. You're going to have to hurt me, my family, which they probably will, in order to take them. Because, no, you do not deserve, this is wrong. This is evil. All this is evil. Okay? This is all evil. This is just an important thing to remember. That to be willing to put yourself there and to denounce the evil that's going on, even if it means you, your family, and the family you're trying to protect, you're all going to be arrested. You're going to be hurt. Do we have that kind of courage? And There is a form of moral theology called casuistry, and it literally means case by case. It means case by case, casuistry. And they said the Jesuits are famous for this, the Jesuit fathers, but they're not the only ones. Everybody uses case by case, okay? All right. This is where most of our lies come in. And that's why I call this the commandment of the cowards. The cowardice, it's in us. Okay? It's in all of us. You don't want to be hurt. You know, if I could get away with a lie and even protect somebody, it's even better. Case by case. The problem with that is that we don't allow truth to have its force and its power. What can truth do? Okay? And I'm not even going to say, because our legal system is not based on, you know, truth or not. You know, they don't always look for truth in a case. You know, a court case is, you know, being judged on what the laws are written, and whether or not they can prove this thing against the person. Okay, and so it's not a question of truth at all. So our legal system is not based on truth; it's based on written laws and what you can prove and not prove. Right? And you have a jury who decides these things, case by case. This is not the way of God at all. Okay, the commandments are set forth. When you tell that lie to save people, right, you automatically put yourself there in a position of holding the truth back from having its full force, to be able to stand and, yes, be a martyr, to stand and defend and protect and denounce the evil that these people are being done, and to invite the ones who want to do evil into a justice and saying, do what is right. Don't follow orders that are evil, to do evil to people who don't deserve evil to be done to them. Do what is right. Stand for the truth and suffer the consequences of it, or see the fruits of it. Because it has turned people. People have done this. I've done it. Standing before somebody who wanted to do evil, you present the truth, and they back away from doing evil. And they begin to receive the light of Christ. Quite frankly, that's most of what I do. To bring out the truth about things from within, and that truth allows people to pull away from evil. So they no longer want to do whatever evil thing they were doing or attempted to do. It's a horrible situation to be put in, yes. And that's a very extreme situation, but very real. Okay? Very real. And you do need to remember, okay? Always remember, all laws are just rules made by people and beings. They are not commands from God. They're not to be seen that way. Okay? We have a right to judge them. But we also have a commandment to tell the truth. Do not bear false witness, because then you take away the power of the truth. And Jesus is that truth. And through you comes, by telling the truth, through you comes power. I am defending these people and protecting these people from you because you intend harm on them. I denounce the harm you want to do, and I call you to Christ. I call you to conversion. And many of you look at me like, what are you, an idiot? They're going to hurt you. They're going to take everything away from you. They're going to arrest your family, do terrible things to you. Just lie, they'll go away. You live to see another day, and you miss the chance to really live for Christ. The truth is tough. I don't like it either. Okay, I learned how to lie very well. Okay, I learned how to lie very well. Put people off, and I despise that in myself. Okay? And I have to despise it. I have to learn to live in that truth and be able to say it. It's not easy. Stand up for that truth. Okay? And it gets you into trouble. People will judge you. It's better than me judging people. Okay? Because when you speak the truth, you're not judging really anybody. You're proclaiming what is right. You're calling people into that life of righteousness. Like St. Paul for that. St. Paul, he never missed words. He never did not say the truth. That's why he got himself into a lot of trouble. I mean, they tried to kill him so many times. They couldn't succeed until the very end. And he was able to tell his truth before the highest court in Rome. And yes, they cut off his head. But yes, he did proclaim that truth. And all along the way, that's what he did. Not to hide. Okay. I need to say all that in English, in Spanish, and then I'll get back. I'll give you a blessing. But don't forget, we're still in business. There's still Sunday masses, okay? Just I invite everybody to wear short pants. It's okay to wear t-shirts. Okay, you don't have to wear ties and long dresses and anything like that. You just cover up the right parts, ladies, please. Okay, it's okay to proper short pants for the boys and the girls. All right, don't mind it. It's gonna be warm, during the day, so it's okay to come, dressed a little more casually, so you do not become overheated. All right, good. Bueno, hermanos, ¿de qué estamos hablando? Está hablando mucho, ¿eh? El octavo mandamiento, que dice que es el mandamiento de los cobardes, el cobardía que está dentro de nosotros, cada uno. Es más que decir mentiras, ¿eh? Es que nosotros no vamos a dar falso testimonio. Eso es algo muy importante, porque originalmente el falso testimonio en un caso judicial o un conflicto, si uno dice que pues yo voy a decir mentira para apoyar a mi amigo en este conflicto, eso es lo que se refiere originalmente. Después empezamos a usar esto como en todas las mentiras. ¿Pero por qué? Es la cosa que no entendíamos, porque todos estábamos listos de decir mentiras para protegernos o proteger a las personas. Eso es porque quise darle el ejemplo ayer, pero iba a usar hoy. Porque esa es la palabra, ese va al corazón de lo que es justicia. Porque en un caso, como en el tiempo de los socialistas nacionales, nazi, en Alemania, cuando ellos estaban yendo buscando los judíos, y tú conoces una familia, son muy, muy buenos amigos, y tú decides esconderlos en tu departamento, en tu casa, pero vienen tocando tu puerta los soldados, porque dicen que no eres amigo de esas personas, los vecinos les han dicho. Y por eso, ¿saben dónde están? Están escondiendo a esa persona en tu casa. Pues tú vas a decir una mentira. Pues no están aquí, se fueron. Sabían que ustedes están buscando a todos sus dioses, se fueron. De aquí, no están aquí. Vienen a ver, y entran y buscan en tu casa y todo esto. Es una mentira. Tú dijiste para salvar a tus amigos, porque sabías que iban a ser maltratados. ¿Y qué pasa si la policía llega buscando a uno de sus hermanos o la migración está buscando a alguien y tú los tienes así escondido, que sea? Porque no quieres que las autoridades los lleven. Todos nosotros hemos dicho mentiras de diferentes maneras. Estaba yo mencionando, los inmigrantes tienen que decir mentiras para poder conseguir trabajo. O una persona que estaba encarcelado y le piden si tienes un récord con la policía. Y tú dices que no, sabiendo que si yo digo que sí, no me van a dar trabajo. Porque es una de las preguntas en que los empleadores lo miran. automáticamente descalifican sin conocerte. Y tú piensas, bueno, voy a quedar mi tiempo y ganar confianza y afecto, y si descubren después que era mentira, ojalá que vaya a tener misericordia de mí. Ojalá. Es más bien de lo que como pensamos. Mentimos para protegernos, proteger a otras personas que queremos mucho. Es una cosa muy importante de ver, porque Cristo Jesús dijo que yo soy la verdad. Yo soy la vida, yo soy el camino, la verdad y la vida. En este punto yo soy la verdad. ¿Qué es esto? Es Él, diciendo la verdad en toda situación. Es Él que está hablando, que está actuando. No es fácil, ¿eh? Está pensando, oh, porque yo no tengo confianza en la verdad, porque no tengo confianza en los demás. Primeramente, la verdad. Las reglas y las leyes que nosotros escribimos en libros, por gobiernos, etc., son reglas. Y nosotros somos capaces de juzgar a esas reglas individualmente. Nosotros podemos decir que no y trabajar para el cambio de esas reglas. Es decir, no seguir esta regla puede sufrir consecuencias por los demás. Por eso cuando vemos que hay algo que está muy claro, que con claridad vemos, esta regla es mala y yo puedo resistir. Yo no tengo que hacerlo, obedecer. Y vamos adelante con esto, pero sufriremos las consecuencias. En este ejemplo, vienen tocando tu puerta, buscando a esta familia que tú estás escogiendo, sabiendo que van a maltratar, la consecuencia de la muerte. Y en vez de decir no, tú denuncias sus acciones. Dice, lo que ustedes quieren hacer, lo que están haciendo, está en contra de Dios. Estoy llamándoles, ustedes son cristianos también, fueron bautizados, en esa época sí fueron bautizados. Y ustedes tienen que recordar, Cristo ama a todos. Y el mandamiento de no matar. Y Cristo era un judío. Y por eso los judíos que ustedes están persiguiendo son hermanos y hermanas de Jesús. Ustedes no tienen derecho de hacer lo que están haciendo, no son un Dios. Estas leyes, estas reglas son malas. Si tú quieres hacer algo y quieres causar un daño hacia ellos, tiene que pasar por mí. Malo que quieren hacer a ellos, tiene que hacerlo a mí. Pero si tú tienes una familia, lo van también a matar a tu familia. Esta es la verdad, hermano. Y el poder es de verdad. Les voy a decir, aunque quizá en esa situación no va a servir, porque esos hombres que vienen con armas, no importa, les van a decir, ¿sabe qué? Ok, está bien. ¡Pum! Y después empiezan a destruir su casa buscando a las personas. ¿Sabes? No tienes que decir, sí, los tengo, pero tienes que decir la verdad. Lo que ustedes están haciendo es malo. Es una maldad. Ya van haciendo lo malo que quieren hacer. Pero también, en muchas ocasiones, en muchos casos, he visto como diciendo la verdad, aunque fue algo pesado de hacer, muchas tristes consecuencias. Pero diciendo la verdad, era más fuerte algo, porque cambió el corazón. Es lo que yo hago todos los días, en verdad. Ese es lo que es mi ministerio. Cuando la gente me viene a mí y piden dirección espiritual, un director espiritual sencillamente está diciendo la verdad. Revelar una verdad que la persona no quiere ver. No ha podido ver porque estaba bloqueado por muchas cosas. La revelación de verdad es revelar a Cristo. y sufrir las consecuencias por diciendo la verdad. Es lo que vemos en todas las historias de los profetas, como ese profeta Elías que estaba mencionando ahorita. Ahí está, claramente, el poder de la verdad. Sí, incurre en sufrimiento, persecuciones y todo. Pero así son. Por eso le digo, es una forma de cobardía de decir mentira para protegerse a uno mismo o proteger a otra persona. Porque no estás diciendo la verdad, la total verdad. No es una cosa de decir solamente sí o no a sus preguntas. Es denunciar la maldad que tú estás diciendo que no. O si tú has hecho malo, es diciendo que yo he hecho esta cosa mala, es lo culpable. Pero una mala intención, o fue un error, quién sabe, pero diciendo la verdad es muy importante. El sistema judicial nuestro no está buscando la verdad. Tienen sus leyes, sus reglas, y básicamente lo que pueden así probar que sí o probar que no. Eso es lo que es todo. No es lo que importa. Lo que yo puedo convencer a un jurado de 12 personas, que es lo que, o un juez nomás, a veces no solamente es un juez, lo que puedo yo convencer a ellos. La verdad no es la cuestión. No es cuestión de justicia, no como Dios quiere. Es cuestión de seguir sus reglas. Para ellos, este es más grande que la ley de Dios. Hay una forma de teología moral que se llama casuistría. Es por casos, caso por caso. Y todos piensan lo mismo. Todos nosotros decimos, depende del caso de la persona, depende. Caso por caso. Y dicen que los jesuitas están muy famosos para esto. Sí, en temporada está diciendo esto. Pero en verdad, todos hombres y mujeres usan esto. En este caso, esta persona es una buena persona, pero hizo una cosa mala. Merece tantos, merece tantos castigos en este caso. Pero en los demás casos, no sé. Cada caso. Y eso es como, básicamente, este es el sistema judicial que tenemos. Caso por caso. Y la decisión del jurado, los 12, la decisión de un juez, caso por caso. Ese no es la ley de Dios. La ley de Dios exclusivamente existe para enseñar el poder. En todos los casos. Si tú tienes la oportunidad de denunciar la maldad que intentan hombres que quieren hacer algo malo, pero obedeciendo a unos órdenes que recibieron, porque son soldados, o policía, que sea, tú tienes derecho y responsabilidad. El mandamiento dice, no jurarás en falso. Por eso tú te vas a poner frente a ellos y decir, no, lo que ustedes quieren hacer es malo. Lo denuncio en el nombre de Jesucristo y yo les llamo a la conversión. Dejen lo malo que ustedes entiendan. No lo van a hacer. Y yo, aquí estoy. Y yo voy a meterme y bloquear lo malo que tú quieres hacer. Esto es lo que digo. De violar este mandamiento es ser cobarde. Está en mí, está en ti. Cobardía. Ten ánimo, hermano, porque a raíz de justicia tenemos que decir no, la verdad, y irnos de la mentira. Ok, mucho para pensar, ¿eh? No se olviden de ver voy a darles la bendición. Y no se olviden que todavía tenemos misas, ¿ok? Misas dominicales, todos están afuera, por eso está bien si se viste un poco más casual, porque hay mucho calor. Y dejen el sacerdocio poner todo su traje, pero yo voy a decirle a los sacerdotes, si ponen todo su traje, están con pantalones cortos, ¿eh? O nomás vamos a poner la alba con una sola, no todos los trajes, porque hay mucho calor a veces, ¿sabes? Por eso. Pero vengan y traigo una botella de agua para ti. Pero no olviden, no olviden okay. Para mañana, escribir cosas. Tenía una cosa para que ustedes leyeran. Voy a cubrir Romanos 12. La carta de Romanos, capítulo 12, ese va a ser mi tema para mañana. Muy importante porque, a ver, la justicia de Dios, San Pablo puso en un capítulo todo, bien bonito, para memorizar. Okay? Ahora les voy a dar la bendición. I forgot to tell you guys, I do have homework for you. Romans chapter 12. St. Paul put the whole question of justice into one little package, one little part of a chapter there. Boom. Romans chapter 12. Read it. Have your homework for tomorrow. It's going to cover. Okay? Benedicat vos, omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sancti, descienda super vos et vuestras familias en contra de toda malicia et enfermedad. La paz con todos ustedes. Peace be with all of you. See you Sunday. Yay.